It's a partnership, if you will, social media and sports. And it's well documented that sports fans use their Twitter, they use their Instagram. Athletes and leagues and teams do as well. I can't even remember watching or covering sports before social media, though I certainly did. It's After Hours with Amy Lawrence on CBS Sports Radio. I am geeked up for you to hear my conversation with the head of sports on Twitter, TJ Adeshola. As it turns out, we crossed paths at my previous network briefly, and he's now turned this into a lucrative career. And I told him right off the top about my love-hate relationship with the platform. But the conversation is fascinating, and I'm excited for you to hear it from Radio Row, Table 21. It's After Hours with Amy Lawrence on CBS Sports Radio.
Super Bowl 53.
When I say head of U.S. sports partnerships at Twitter, how do you explain that to people who ask you what you do?
Yeah, what I say is I don't get paid to tweet all day. That would be fun. But what I get to do is
not me.
I get to work with some of the coolest sports properties in the country and help them develop strategies, help them use Twitter in thoughtful ways, and I help them make money too.
It's grown exponentially.
It has, and you've been good on Twitter for some time. Love, hate, regardless.
Yes, I know.
You've been pretty good at the platform.
Thank you, TJ. All right, so we're talking NFL this week, of course, because it's Super Bowl 53. How do you then work with the NFL, not just to help them expand their platform, but to also use it so that it then translates to fan base?
Yeah. So a couple ways. We're obviously front and center at Radio Row, equipping teams, equipping the league, equipping players with the tools to be really good at Twitter. So that's one piece. Another piece is to work with them to determine or identify what types of content will resonate on the platform, really helping them amplify that content, whether it's live shows or specific highlights or throwback moments that we can help them with just develop strategies to reach more people on the platform.
Well, you set that up for me then. How do you do it? What do you tell the NFL when they say to you, what's the best way to leave a mark with a tweet or a series of tweets? What's the best way to reach an audience? What do you tell them?
Yeah, the number one thing for us is to leverage rich media, whether it's video content, photo content, figure out ways to make the tweet larger than just the text. The tweet is an envelope, right? Years ago, it used to be text, but it's an envelope. You can throw videos in there, you can throw photos in there, and you can really get creative within that
GIFs.
canvas.
People love GIFs.
Exactly. So leverage the rich media that you have and tell stories. Another piece that has been really, really, really impactful for them is showing celebrations, right? For years as a fan, you were kind of upset because they didn't allow players to celebrate. Now the league has fully embraced it. So there's a handle called the High Step that the league has created exclusively to showcase touchdown celebrations.
I didn't even know that.
Amy,
that's amazing.
You got to follow the High Step. It's fantastic. And I suggest you get some popcorn when you do it because it really is a fantastic channel. And you just scroll through the handle and you get the best of the best touchdown celebrations week after week. It's pretty awesome.
Does the reach ever blow you away? The fact that a tweet can in minutes reach hundreds of thousands of people and can go viral, as they say. Does that ever blow you away, the impact that Twitter can have?
There are certain moments that really make me sit back and be proud. I think about J.J. Watt when he really leveraged the platform to raise tons of money for the city of Houston.
Right.
Twitter was front and center in that conversation. Last year, Andy Dalton, it was really fantastic. He threw a touchdown pass, which got the Bills into the playoffs.
Right, week 17.
Bills fans started donating money to Andy Dalton's charity when he tweeted it out. So these types of these moments that you can't really predict will occur, but occur in real time are pretty special, and that's when we have the most fun.
How much do you track the numbers, like the overall impressions and maybe the hashtags, the actual accounts? How do you do that?
Yeah, so we have a pretty robust team, and we have a team that is
it's a great SAT word, by the way, robust. It's a good one. I'm going to drop that tonight on the air.
I can't sit beside you and not be inspired to step up. So robust popped up organically. So we have a team that is specifically tasked with creating a narrative based on data. We've got tons of data. So a lot of the data that we talked about before I came here is based off of what the team pulls, and we work for telling a narrative. A great example, I'm going to pop quiz you if you don't mind. So Tom Brady was the top mentioned player on Twitter the weekend of the conference championships, so no surprise, right?
Yes.
Who does Amy Lawrence think the second most mentioned person on Twitter was that night.
Nickel Roby-Coleman.
Interesting. You're the first person to say that.
Really?
Is that your final answer?
Well, clearly it's not right since you gave me the interesting take. Considering the NFC Championship, let's see.
You can tweet a friend if you'd like.
No, because I know from my show that that's all anybody was talking about on Sunday night. Bigger than the AFC Championship was the missed flag in the NFC Championship. And trying to think, Tommy Lee Lewis, no. Nickel Roby-Coleman.
It's interesting that you're not going with people who played on the field.
Well, I mean, Roby-Coleman did.
Yeah, well,
the call was missed.
Well, you mentioned the referee specifically. The answer is Tony Romo.
Is it really? Now, that does not surprise me.
Which should come as no surprise, right?
Yeah.
He's nuts.
In a good way.
In a good way. And people were fascinated with the fact that this guy was actually telling you what was going to happen in advance of it happening. And it happened time
especially in overtime.
after time after time, and in the clutch moments as well. So all Twitter was Tony Romo this, Tony Romo that. The next day, Bryce Harper was like, well, man, I might as well ask Tony Romo where I'm going to play baseball next year. So it turned into this phenomenon, and the memes were crazy. The gifs were funny. So it was Tony Romo, which is fascinating because he actually didn't play that night. And to your point, there were tons of other things to talk about as well.
TJ Adeshola is here, table 21. I'm telling everyone because it's our little spot over here. It's After Hours on CBS Sports Radio. Two things I deal with all the time.
Okay.
Someone comes to you and says, why should I pick Twitter over Facebook? What do you tell them?
Well, they're two different platforms.
They are.
And you nailed it earlier. You said something along the lines of, do I get surprised when things go viral? And candidly, I don't, because that's what our platform does. Our platform, it harnesses real-time moments. So if a great touchdown pass occurs, or if there's a missed call, or if Tony Romo is predicting plays, in real time, that occurs on Twitter. It's a conversation. It's a communal feeling that allows you
a global sports bar.
It's a global sports bar that I get to hang out with Amy Lawrence in, even if she's not wearing a pink jacket right beside me. So those are that's what makes Twitter special, and that's what differentiates it from a platform like Facebook. We pride ourselves on the here, the now, what's happening in real-time conversation and moments.
All right, this is something else that is personal to me.
Okay.
Because as a female in sports, there is a lot of vitriol on, and not just Twitter. It comes on all platforms. But we're speaking about Twitter. And I've had harassment to the point where I've had to contact Twitter and say, hey, this has gotten to a point where I'm scared.
Okay.
And so at that point, Twitter will step in, and I've actually had someone, get completely knocked off the platform for that. Given that this is it's a mode of speech, and in the United States, we have the freedom of speech.
Right.
Wanting to promote conversation, as Twitter clearly does, how does the platform then navigate this balance between it needing to be something that doesn't infringe on other people's rights, but is also still a forum where people can do you and be you, baby, that kind of a thing?
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's not one topic that the company, and it starts from Jack, our CEO, top down, is more focused on.
Does he have a last name?
He does, but Jack just
no one's
sounds
allowed to
kinda
share
cool.
it. Yeah, no, it
Jack
does.
just sounds kind of cool. There's not one topic that we're more solely focused on than safety.
Okay, good.
There are times where I'll have these types of discussions, and when we leave, I'll say, Amy, take my information down. If you ever experience those types of things, let me know, because I want to shoot Jack a note and say, here's what people are dealing with on a day-to-day basis, and we have this conversation all the time. So we've acquired more resources to handle it. We've tested with machine learning a bit more to understand ways to determine what hate speech looks like, and take it down in faster times than we have in the past. It's a work in progress for sure, but it's something that we are laser focused on because we want people to have safe, healthy conversation on the platform, and
while still understanding that it's the U.S. and even hate speech in some forms is protected.
Sure,
it's weird dichotomy on social media.
I'll tell you, hate speech is one that I certainly don't have tolerance for, and neither does our CEO. The challenge is acting upon it really quickly. When you see it, take it down and keep it moving. Boot them off the platform because there's no place for that on our platform. We just gotta get faster at it.
I need to follow you on Twitter.
I
Even
would
though you don't
love that.
tweet
I mean,
all
it's
day
awkward.
long. Tell me what it is.
It is. You ready? Drum roll, please. It's at TJ.
Are you like Jack? Just at Jack?
AY.
Oh, TJAY.
I really wanted just TJ, but TJAY has a cool little ring to it.
That's unique.
Yeah, so we.
So that's the thing about Twitter. You guys just go by like a name.
I got lucky. I've been at Twitter for a little bit. I'm a bit of a Twitter fossil, so I was able to get one of these 4-letter.
I want to be a fossil. Twitter wouldn't be it. I'm a sports radio fossil. That's what I am. You have given me some fantastic words for my show tonight.
Hey, I'm here all week, Amy. I'm here all week.
And we would love to have you on again because this is the kind of stuff that in sports radio, there's no separating the two. Social media and sports radio, sports fans, they go together hand in glove. And it's a reality that when I started in the business, didn't even have to think about. But in order to be a competent and also a influential member of this business, you need social media, and Twitter's a very real part of it. So thank you for enlightening me a little bit and for stopping by.
Of course, and I'll tell you, if fans who are listening to your show ever want a few people to follow, you start with Amy Lawrence, of course, but there are several amazing people on the platform. Mina Kimes is one that I love following. She's fantastic.
Great, yes.
Amy Trask is hilarious. Of course, you got to follow Adam Schefter.
Yes.
There are guys like Rich Eisen and Shannon Sharp, and there are a few great follows on Twitter. So make a few new follows and enhance your experience on Sunday when you're watching the game.
I love it. At TJAY.
Super easy.
Head of Sports or Head of U.S. Sports Partnerships on Twitter.
Whatever.
Such a great title. I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much for a couple of minutes.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thank you.